Cal G coming up from Los Angeles. He's going to be sharing with us his career outlook and his God-given talent. Keep it locked on the world's greatest radio station, WBSU Bulldog Nation Radio.
This album is called KG. KG, Kyle G. It's my nickname. You know, everybody, family, friends used to call me ever since I was little. It's my introduction album, my debut album. I put out a lot of bodies of work ever since I was little, 9 years old. So I've been consistently putting out music since then. This is my introduction album. This is the first one under my label, RCA. And yeah, I put a lot into it. And it's the introduction. This album is called KG. KG to me is Kyle G. It's my nickname. You know, everybody, family, friends used to call me ever since I was little. In sports, people call me KG. It's my introduction album, my debut album. I put out a lot of bodies of work ever since I was little, 9 years old. That's a long time to be making music. So I've been consistently putting out music since then. This is my introduction album. This is the first one under my label, and yeah, I put a lot into it, and it's the introduction. I feel like all the greats, they got their introduction album. That's just their name or their nickname. So it's my introduction album, and it tells a story.
Okay, is there any features on there?
This one, nah, it's just all me. All me. I probably produced myself like 95% of the whole thing. It's about like 16 tracks on there. No features for this one. Next one, definitely get some features. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So who, one, I want you to answer this, right? I want you to answer who in your city do you want to work with, and also somebody that's inside, that's already in the industry. So one from the city, one local, and then one from the industry.
Okay. Local from the city. Man, I feel like this is everybody want to work with this person because he's just a super OG, but Snoop Dogg, Snoop D-O-double-G. Can't go wrong with the Snoop D-O-double-G. So, coming up, I feel like I want to set the bar high and just go straight for the Drake and Chris Brown. I feel like it just sits right. You know, it makes sense. Super mainstream, and that's what we want to do. Man, I love so many of the female artists too, and I feel like that would be a great thing to do. It's a couple of them I feel like it would be dope, like a Her, and like the Scissors and stuff like that. I feel like that'd be super, super dope, just based off the type of vibe that I create. I think it'd be dope.
So in the beginning of your introduction, you named like 4, 5, 6 things that you do, right? So let's go ahead and go over what are some of the things you do outside of just rapping?
Just rapping.
Well, outside of being an artist.
Okay, being an artist. So I'd say first is staying active, being healthy, always going to the gym and staying fit. What I like to do to clear my head is play basketball, go hoop. I played in a couple, usually every summer I try to play in like some leagues, some basketball leagues. I played like the Calabasas one this year. It's pretty dope. Growing up, I've always just been a sports guy. Football, basketball, a little bit of track. Grew up playing baseball too. So just staying active. Also too, I've always been into art. Like even just drawing and stuff like that. I've always done my own album artworks and all that different type of stuff. Photography, I have that vision, I feel like too. I started out I actually did like in high school, took like a little couple of classes on photography and stuff. So I know like the scientifics a little bit behind it. But yeah, just anything visual. I edit a lot of my videos from the past up until now, when I started working with my new photographer and videographer. But yeah, just anything visual. Man, being around love, I feel like that's the most important part. Good family, and just positive vibes, and just.
So you say you acting in your own videos. I edit my own videos too, so I understand.
That's dope,
I get it. So how important are visuals to you, and how you decide which one of your songs go to visuals, which one don't? Do you let the fans decide? Do you be like, nah, this is the video y'all gonna get, or like how do you go about that?
Yeah, so I feel like it's a little bit between both. I love to hear constructive criticism, and I feel like just whatever feels good, like whatever. You gotta have a plan, but I don't really question too much. And the visuals are very, very, very important to me, and anybody who I let take care of that, obviously I would have to trust them, because I've came up editing my own stuff, directing my own stuff, to a point where I'll just be like, hand my niece the camera and like, take this video, take this picture real quick, and then I just edit it, just using whatever resources is around. But yeah, I feel like definitely if some supporters and fans are like, hey man, I like this song, it's a number of them, I'll definitely take that in consideration. Sure.
Okay, so we're gonna step away a little bit from the music, because we got this quick little game we're gonna play, right? It's called Quick Draw for y'all. Okay. So pretty much I'm gonna give you some rapid fire questions. You have 3 seconds to answer.
All right.
So y'all see I got my fingers up, so if you don't make it, we're going to the next one. Right, so first things first, 3 things you can't live without.
Food.
See, look, there you go. Go ahead and say it.
Food, working out, and music.
All-time favorite movie?
All-time favorite movie, Don't Be a Minute to South Street while drinking juice in the hood. Scary Movie 1 and 2. Man, it's a tough one. There's so many of them. I'm a comedy dude, but I like I would say probably like Halloween. I gotta throw like something different in there. Halloween.
Okay. Worst advice you ever received?
Give up.
The best advice?
The best advice.
No, the worst one.
Okay.
The worst one was give up.
The best advice?
Yeah.
You're gonna be a star. Keep going.
Okay. Most prized possession?
Family.
Okay. Who was your role model?
Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston.
Okay. Describe yourself in 1 word.
Fly.
Fly. And the last one, what have you done that you're most proud
of? Using my God-given talents to give back and motivate people who need it, and just be the best person I can be every day.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna jump back into the music. So what separates you from the rest of the artists?
I feel like I'm very much so me, and I'm not trying to prove anything or show off in front of anybody. I'm just me, God-fearing, and I want to help, I want to motivate, I want to inspire, I want to touch people all around the world. And I got a little slightly different little sound than what's popping, definitely for my age, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so how long have you been signed to the label?
A couple months, so it's fresh, top of the year.
So everything's
top of the year.
new. You still
Oh yeah.
You gotta shake it off.
Man, it's the first cycle for a lot of things. I'm having fun, but working at the same time. It's fun. I'm enjoying the moment, and just working. It's working.
So how did that come about? Let's talk about that first time getting that first phone call. So
Man, it's actually crazy because I've been independent for a very long time, and I would tell myself, like, if I were to ever get with a label, I would probably go with RCA, because I just feel like for my image and just everything, they can do a lot for me, and I just felt like it'd be the best fit. And then that was just the first option, the first call, and it was just the first things worked. I feel like I manifested it. First thing I bought.
Because everybody get Get the phone call. I know I'm about to go buy my mama a house. I'm about to go. Yeah, I gotta go get the car, chain, the jewelry, all that. So what's the first thing?
Man, I got me a little S-Class, Benz, a little something.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
You don't like Mercedes, man.
For real, why not?
I'm a BMW driver. I don't like that.
I was a BMW driver, but I'm like, man, I can't go back.
Okay, I like that. I like that. So the album, right?
Sure.
How many songs is on there?
16.
The people want to know. Some of our listeners first time finding out who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You got some people who already know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So let's talk about the number of songs, your favorite songs recorded so far off the album, the ones that you know didn't make the cut that we're gonna be listening for in the future.
Yes, sir. Okay, 16 songs on there. My favorite ones, like I said, Simmer Down, Hot. I got the merch right here, so I'm looking at it right here.
Okay, make sure we get that on camera because the people can see. Make sure
Yes,
we get
sir.
that on camera.
KG. My favorite ones gotta be Simmer Down, Hot, Baby, We Should, I Know What You Want. I mean, I love it all. I had to cut this down from like 100 songs. So it's like I really had to fall in love with this track list right here. Some didn't make it that I'm super in love for, but that's okay because they're gonna come out and they gonna hit for sure. So
what's the sound like on the album?
the sound, it's a little bit of something for everybody. I'm gonna be honest, like
Church in there?
a little bit of groove. You gonna hear the scales in there, but I got something big on that note on the way.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it's a little bit for everything. It's some stuff. Well, mostly I mainly try to cater to the woman and uplift the woman, but it's stuff like homies could vibe to, and it's a good vibe for everybody.
How's COVID affected your career so far? Because I know you was independent for a while, and so the shows were stopping.
Yeah.
I know for a fact the studios were closing.
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
how's COVID affected your career?
Man, I feel like COVID did me right. Like COVID was probably one of the best times in my life and career because everything was shut down, and I'm really a studio rat. Like I got a whole crazy setup at my house, and I've always have, and I just kind of like over the years upgraded different things. But man, just be able to wake up, roll out of bed, and just record every single day, all day, and not feel guilty about it because you locked in, and everybody's in the house. And it's like, man, I feel like during COVID, everybody had like something mental to where it's like, man, I can't wait for this to be over. And it's a little down feeling, but to be able to get pulled out of that and motivate yourself to do so much more and think big, I feel like it definitely changed my life for the better. I feel like I spiritually, mentally, and physically elevated and really had that time to myself to figure out who I am and what I really want to do. And just when COVID ended, that's when I signed and got my deal. So I feel like all that hard work during COVID, just working the entire time, definitely paid off and motivated.
What's your favorite place you performed at?
Man,
what city showed you the most love?
The most love, I would say probably Australia, but I feel like every time I perform though, the last one tops the last one. So, man, I can't wait.
I was gonna say something in the country. That man said Australia.
Australia, man, they were showing crazy love. But we had a show at Morgan State a couple days ago with DTLR. Yes, sir. But man, I can't wait to do a show here tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, we're fantastic.
Here tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So I can't wait to do that. I think that'll be real big.
If you see me on stage dancing, just don't say nothing.
Oh yeah.
Just let me
We
rock.
rock.
Just let me rock. So you say Australia. So how many other countries have you been to that you performed at, or been to in general? I ain't been out the country, so I don't know.
I've been to a couple countries traveling and stuff like that, but out of the country performing, Australia for now is the only one for now out of state.
Okay.
Man, just before COVID, I was supposed to go to Europe and do some things and do some shows, but everything shut down. But hey, small doors closed, so bigger doors can open. So, I know it'll be much bigger now than what it could have been. and I can't wait to, just take over the world.
So on Twitter, right, Australia, they have these crazy looking animals. Since you was over there, cause I ain't never going over there. I saw the way them animals was looking.
They got the wallabies.
Yeah, them little things,
spiders
big. I'm like, nah.
Size of that.
Ain't no way. So you see any of that out there?
Man, I'm happy I didn't see no spider. I don't like spiders, but man, they got the spiders that's like the size of TVs. I didn't see none though, but man, I seen some kangaroos and stuff like that. I seen one weird looking anteater thing crawling around. I was mostly in the city though, like all the crazy creatures and stuff. That's like an hour in the countryside where nobody really is. But I was mostly like in the city, Melbourne and Sydney. So I didn't see too much of it. I went to the zoo though and saw a couple other things. But man, I'm happy I did. It probably would have ruined my trip.
I would have left it, man. I seen the spider see this over for me.
Yeah, it's over.
So let's talk about some of the upcoming stuff. Because your album dropped. Is there anything else that you got that's coming out?
Man, we're gonna come out with a deluxe for the album and get a couple more songs off that didn't make it in We Saving. So I can't wait for that. Man, just staying consistent with doing these shows and getting out there. A whole lot more interviews and visuals. I can't wait to show everybody, show the world what I've been working on, and music videos, visuals, vlogs. I've been doing my vlog thing also too. Whole lot of merch and stuff like that.
Anybody you want to shout out?
Man, shout out BSU
Shout
for
out
having me.
BSU.
Shout out BSU, shout out God, shout out my family back home, shout out Roland for pulling this whole thing together. Appreciate you, that's my manager. Yes, sir. Shout out everybody at RCA.
You already know. I want to thank you for stopping by.
So,
make sure y'all tune in tomorrow when you see him performing.